David, you were next.
Thanks, Chairman. On this Travel to School programme, have you gathered any data on the increase of vehicle traffic in relationship to safety in built-up areas? Corresponding data?
I don't have the detail with me, David, on the programme, but obviously there are a number, I know from my previous post, there are a number of schools which do suffer from significant traffic around them, particularly in the mornings.
I understand all that. Just answer the question, please. Have you gathered any data on the vehicle increase? Have you?
I'm not sure. I can get back to you, but I'm not sure.
I'd be grateful for that. Thank you.
Just to clarify, we do generally, we have a lot of traffic counts around the province, but they tend not to be on low traffic, unclassified roads. And lots
You'll surely understand the point I'm making, that if you have this programme, and I welcome the programme and see what you're trying to do with it, surely it has to be corresponding data from the vehicles, and is there any increase there? That seems something that you would do. You've slipped slightly on the creation of the strategic transport model and the local transport plans. In fact, it's only 6 months, so nobody's going to quibble about that, I suppose, in the way you do your figures anyhow. Could you tell me where are we with the rapid transit system from Dundonald?
Yes, the investment in the Belfast rapid transit system is ongoing. We have, there are various parts to the BRT project.
Let's stick from the bit, if I could. I'm sorry to be selfish about it. Seeing everybody else is talking about their constituency, I might as well talk about mine. From Dundonald into Belfast.
Right.
I mean, you've built this lovely park and ride place. You've closed the amenity for people to sit in, doesn't matter. But it's all there, and that's working, or it seems to be working. So, basically, my question is, when are we going to see this up and running?
Well, the park and ride, as you say, the works at Ballyhackamore have been progressed, and there's a new section of the works, Albert Bridge Road to Sandown Road, which started on Monday of this week, and that's a 9-month programme of works. So the enabling works are all underway. The Belfast Rapid Transit is actually a hugely complicated project. Depends on money not just for itself, but for a number of interrelated projects. So,
okay, Andrew, if I may stop you there.
Yes.
I think that's where we're heading to, but so what, to shorten maybe the discussion, are you on budget?
We're well within the original budget so far, yes.
So you're on budget? I mean, don't
yes.
sort of put words like original. There's only one budget as far as I'm concerned.
Well, the business case for the scheme was done on the basis of our budget and the...
Not a guesstimate now, we're talking about real, live, actual, factual figures.
Well, an estimate at that time. The business case is currently being reviewed, actually, in terms of capital costs.
Well, why is that?
Simply because we have more information now, and we've got to a key stage of the project.
Is that more information likely to lead to reduced costs or increased costs? Or
it's likely to reduce the capital investment.
Well, that's very helpful, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Well, when would we be able to see those details? When could they be in front of the committee?
Well, there's the programme of work that's taking place now is first of all, some figures are being refined by our consultants. They're looking at the operating model, the operating costs. There is then a power review being carried out. This is in place of a planned gateway review. We've decided to broaden it, and we're carrying out a full power review. That's happening in early July, and we'll be very happy to share the results of that.
That would be excellent if we could get a hold of those. The interdepartmental programme to develop a strategic drainage infrastructure to address surface water flooding has been established just recently. Can you tell the committee what is the timescale for the programme board to deliver recommendations?
Well, the programme board has met 3 or 4 times recently. It's already encompassing it as a number of other government departments, as well as NIW, Belfast City Council. It is embarking on a number of work streams, some of which are short-term, some which are long-term. It will be drawing up a programme of work which will need significant investment, and that will be brought forward to the executive in due course. Some we're talking about are considerable and outside.
I love your use of words of due course and maybe considerable and things like that. My question was, can you or can you not tell me what the timescale is to deliver recommendations? Because I think it's recommendations we're all looking for as quickly as possible on surface drainage. Big problem.
Within a year. Within a year.
Right.
Within
a year, is that 3 months, 3 months, 6 months?
There's a range of programmes of work going forward, David. Some of them will be short-term and completed. Yeah. Others will be saying we need massive investment, and here's the programme of investment we need. Yeah. That'll be the recommendation.
And the extent of that investment, how detailed is that going to be provided to the committee?
Well, whatever emerges from the programme board's work will be available to the committee.
Okay, that's it.
I don't definitely. At the minute, we're embarking in a sense of hearts and minds to persuade the wider stakeholders of the seriousness of this.
Appreciate well.
And we spent a day in Glasgow a couple of weeks ago.
Do you think that there's really a need to convince them of the seriousness of it? I mean,
it's
are they blind?
No, but when you get down to prioritising investment, particularly investment in something like water and sewage infrastructure, which frankly is not glamorous, it may well, and I use this loosely, politicians may prefer to have more visible.
Well, politicians work in shite as well as we work in anything else, if that's what you're trying to say.
Well, moderate the language there, David, please.
No, but money is
being
tight.
very specific, that's what he's talking about it not being glamorous.
Money is tight. Schools, hospitals, road schemes, things like that are all competing for the same thing. It's hard to persuade people that unless you invest hundreds of millions of pounds now, we will not have the water or sewage infrastructure to actually support a growing economy.
Okay, well, now we have this programme, and you've given me a timescale of within a year. Will it actually deliver recommendations, or is it going to be one of these programmes that says, here's something you might consider?
Oh no, we'll deliver recommendations for a programme of investment, a programme of work which is needed to ensure that our water and sewage infrastructure and the issues of drainage are dealt with.
David, I'll come back to you for no. Joe's been waiting, and I'm sure you have plenty more questions there, so we'll let Joe in and then.
By all means, yes.
Yeah, Chairman.
I want to come back, Chairman, just to what you've been saying, Andrew, and you've said it before, no money. Is the message to be taken from this committee meeting, from two of the most senior officials in this department, wake up folks out there, the people, and smell the coffee, because there will be no, or maybe no water supply, no trains or buses running, and the roads will be dangerous and the footpaths will be dangerous, so your lifestyle is going to be greatly curtailed unless there is money. If you're preparing to do the same as last year, maybe I didn't pick it up, Andrew, could you tell me how much we spent last year?
Well, Ian, it depends how you calculate the figures. It depends whether you include staff costs and whether you include overheads.
To hell with all that, I just want to know how much it is just for the people, the folk to feel content, competent, free, safe to do that. How much did we spend last year? And last year wasn't good, but how much did we even spend last year on being able to get about?
Last year was quite an expensive year for winter service because although we didn't have any very severe weather, we had a large number of nights where it was below zero. I think I'd rather give the figure in writing. It was around the £6 million mark, but it does depend on what way it's calculated. And if we give you the figure in writing, we'll let you know what's included in it.
So you're looking £5-6 million for resilience. That's just to get by. And at which monitoring round does this come in?
It's a bit in the current.
It's in June monitoring?
It's in June monitoring.
Yep.
And depending on the outcome of that, the Minister will have to consider his options. But he's been very clear, he does
You've
not have
already
the
told
money.
us the options. All the options are is, I hear lots and lots of talk about vulnerable people, and I'm very sympathetic to them. You're making the whole country vulnerable.
That is an inevitable implication of the way the budget has been set. I know we've been through it before, but the Minister had a very difficult job to do. There are three big spending areas in the department. NIW, as John has said.
You can't find, sorry, Andrew, you can't find 6 million as a priority for people.
Oh, absolutely not.
You have greater priorities than looking after people's health and safety.
The Minister made his decisions on his budget, David. He had to prioritise, which meant that certain things didn't get far enough up the list.
He neglected this. Yeah.
He hasn't neglected it.
He has.
No, he hasn't. I mean, as he said before, he's open to someone making a suggestion to him as to where he would find this 5 million from and move it around from elsewhere. And as always in difficult situations like this, no suggestions are forthcoming from the draft budget or in any discussion since. No one has been able to turn around and said, I'll take 5 million from X.
Well, he might need to take one lump sum of 5 million, but I'm sure with some good economic side steps, he could take some bit here and some bit there and some bit there. The problem with us is, don't be asking this committee. We don't understand your figures. We don't believe your figures. We don't know what the figures are, how they add up or whatever. So don't be asking us to be coming up with solutions. The best solution I can give to you is it doesn't seem very difficult to me to find £5 million to protect the safety of the Northern Ireland public over the winter. And it's a disgrace if you can't find it.
It's a measure of how difficult our position is.
Well, it's a measure of how difficult you're making it, because one just wonders, where on earth are you pulling these sound bites from? £5 million?
That's 1%, John, or 1.5%.
It's not, sure, I can say, and that's what David said, we have been over the books time and time again since last year, since we had to find the 4.4%. We are down to moving £50,000 here and stopping doing things here. We are down to scratching round.
Well, I think